All right, welcome everybody. I really appreciate your time. For those of you that are on here, coming on here, and for those that will watch this later, I want to thank you for this opportunity. Kind of just to share with you an opportunity that was presented to me, and now just sharing it with other people, telling people about this firm, and sharing a little bit about my story and where it all came about and how I've made my path in the direction where I'm at. So I wanted to thank you for taking this time, and hopefully we can get this thing. I know that we'll save some questions at the end if there is any, and you can always email me or call me. We'll make sure that my contact information is on here. Our video specialist, Axon, is actually on here as well. And so he's going to be helping us along the way, making sure everything is running smoothly. But if you do have any questions, there is going to be a video inside of this, as well as a video at the that if you want, there's a 9-minute video that kind of breaks it down more in depth of the 5 key ingredients of exp, and gives you a better understanding, hopefully. I'm just the surface, and if that itch is there at the end and you still want to learn more, love to for you we'll get that video out to you. That being said, my name is Brock Zevan. I've been in real estate since 2007. Been through all the ups and downs that you possibly can imagine. We're going to share with some of that today. But yeah, it's been quite a journey for myself. I remember when I first was going to get into real estate, I was a school teacher, was a assistant principal, football coach, weight trainer, teacher, PE, I guess you could say, for 12 years. And I remember the first time telling my mother that I wanted to get into real estate, and she looked at me a little crazy because if we go back to '06, '07, and '08, our market was not one of those that you want to dive in. It was one of those times in our real estate career and our financial world of our industry that it was very, very hard, and it collapsed. And that was a time period I wanted to go in. So my mom kind of looked at me with 4 heads and said, "Are you sure this is what you want to do?" And I was coming from a school teacher position where I had a W-2, I had health insurance, I had a 401k. And just like anything, I've always been somebody that likes to do things at the most challenging times, or likes to have the 2x4 hit against my head a couple times before I do things or before I learn lessons. But in this case, it's got to me the position where I am today. So starting back in '07, I was actually a dual career. So for some of you that are trying to balance both worlds as a dual career, where you're going into, basically, I taught school while I was doing real estate. Some of you are doing the same thing of another career, another job that you have, and you're trying to balance both. And the biggest thing that I had to learn was time management. And I'm not going to get into that all right this second, but I started off learning how what my day looked like, learning when I was going to get appointments, when I can get on emails. It was a little different world with communication back then. So we didn't have the cell phones and the smartphones as much as we do today. So I had to be very creative. I had to use my time wisely. And I got to a point where my part-time job of real estate was making more money than my full-time job, and that's how I got out of it and wanted to get out of it. That was my goal. So jumped into it. Like I said, my mother looked at me a little crazy, but I still went in. I started a small boutique right here in the Lake Norman area. It's about 20 minutes north of Charlotte. And I did that for a little while, and then I wanted something bigger. And so I started my own company. I started my own firm, Compass Real Estate Group, much different than the Compass that a lot of us hear now. But started that company, um, was successful. We were running about a $20 million business, and it wasn't where I wanted to be, but I also was the biggest fish in the pond. And I knew that I had to get around bigger fish and get myself in a bigger pond. So I started at the same token running a property management company. So I ran that a little bit, and that's what got me out of really. I was kind of recession proof to say, because once the real estate was falling apart, the property management increased. And we started off with literally no properties. Within the first couple months, I had 25. And when it was all said and done with, I was managing 110 properties. And it was very challenging. And so I decided to make a decision to step away from the property management and have another partner take it over. And I went into real estate. dove deeper into real estate and growing a team. And that's when I actually left my firm and went to Keller Williams because I wanted to go where the bigger fish were and I needed to get myself involved with it at a higher level. So Keller Williams was the firm that I chose. And that company really helped me out, gave me a lot of good exposure, understood what it meant to really sell high volume homes, meaning units as well as the dollar amount, understanding different strategies, knowing what a CRM was, like all these different things that I really had no grasp of because I was still in a small tank, a small fish tank. So it took me a while to kind of understand that. And so I was in a growing phase during that time period. Well, as I stated in my description of what whole my story was, is during that time period of the property management, I also have a little bit of some baggage with me is I've been sober for 5 years. Well, why do I share that? Well, if we backtrack where my transition took place, it was I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't doing the things that a CEO should be doing. And so I learned that the person in my company was embezzling money and they were embezzling in the property management side. So had to go through a long, challenging process, but I lost my license for a year. So I wasn't still going to use that as an excuse, and I had to find different ways to be able to earn income during that time period. So during 2018 and 2019, I did not have a real estate license. So for those, I share this because I know they Google agents to learn about them. But so I want to be fully transparent. Like what I tell you and some of the challenges that I face, they are literally legit issues that I had to go through and figure out ways to earn income. I had 9 agents on my team at the time period when I lost my license. During that time period, eXp started to come more and more into our Charlotte area. And here I am with no license. I had 9 agents on my team and um, things started to surface about this EXP. And I kind of was very tunnel vision the entire time because EXP and what they were doing, and it was very big here in the Charlotte area. And so I just felt like that was just a wave and it was going to go bye bye. So I wasn't really too keen on about it. I saw a lot of agents leave our company to go there, but I just still didn't believe in it. And I listened to a lot of motivation videos about believing. If you don't believe in something, the chances of you going in that direction are very small. So I didn't believe in it. Well, during that time period, even when losing my license, I still was able to, fortunately, with my coaching and some of the things that I set myself up with and surrounded with, my team actually grew to 18 people. So I didn't have a license. As my father would say, sometimes I didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. I was really, really challenged, and I had 18 mouths that I was taking care of as the team leader. We had an ops manager, we had social media, we had pictures, we had like all this stuff, social media, like all this stuff. And we made a decision to leave. And it wasn't until, and I'm going to share it with you here very shortly, the decision to make it leave was attached to my why. And I'll question you and ask you, what is your why? What is the why that makes you do what you do? What gets you up in the morning to do what you do? And my why is my 2 little children. And if I was really good, and maybe next time I do this, I will then pull up a picture of my 2 kids so you can see them. And my 2 little darlings are the main reason why I do what I do. I was just trying to see if I find a picture on Facebook while we're talking here, but they are my why. And when I found out EXP gives an opportunity to be able to have a retirement and to be able to have beneficiaries, that started to speak volumes to me because that was very important. Is because my kids, what am I going to do with them? I left teaching. I didn't have an opportunity. I don't have a 401k anymore. I don't have a retirement anymore. I have to create my own in order for me to do it. So that was the big challenge that I was facing. And then once this came into play and EXP gave me this, and then there's different opportunities with stocks and blah, blah, blah. And I'll share that with you shortly. It was like, wow, this is a little bit different. I haven't had this before. And so I was still looking to see if I have a picture of my little ones. We actually, this is one of them here. I'll show you. That's my little peanut. That's Brielle. So she's, let me make sure I got the right screen attached to it. There we go. There's Brielle right there. That's my little peanut. And then let me then show you. See, Bryce, he's 3 years old, and he also is he keeps me going. But my children are the main reasons. Here they are, right here. Let me show you this, guys, so you can see what I'm talking about. So there they are. There's Bryce. He's 3. We're at a bike. He had a little 4th of July parade. So I share this to tell you, like, your why has to be what drives you, has to be what makes you do what you do. And so to me, that was what was motivating me. And there's other outside items, of course they were. And so at the time, a team leader, Wendy Smith, she was getting ready to make a transition as well, and she had a meeting with one of our top producers, our partners in the organization, and that's what basically moves as an organization. So we had some other people that we were talking into, and so we started actually we took our filters off, we took our earplugs out, and we looked at it and dove deeper and said this could be something that we really could do. Maybe it is good to be true. And so that's how that took place. And so at the 2019, or in between the 2018 and 2019, we made the shift. And I was very fortunate. All 18 of agents came over to eXp, and we started our new chapter in our real estate career. And I'm going to share with you now some of the things about that and why we made the change. There's 5 key ingredients. But first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this video, because I want you to be able to see kind of what I saw. In eXp is a virtual world, and sometimes that scares people. But as you can see behind me, I'm in an office. So we do have a legit office, and we have a virtual office. So we get the best of both worlds, and that's why we're able to and have teams in starting in New York, starting in Michigan, starting in Florida, being in South Carolina. We have this opportunity. Whereas in my previous firm, I did not. I did, but it cost me a lot more money. At this firm, it doesn't cost me anything. So when you're starting your own business, and that's what we all are, is we're our own business in real estate, we want to be able to put ourselves in the best position possible. And this company allowed us to do that. And so I'm going to kind of share with you. The beginning is really cool because it talks about the whole concept and the mindset. And the easiest thing for me to tell you is dealing with like Blockbuster and Netflix. Like, we don't see Blockbuster anymore. We all see Netflix. And Netflix is on remote controls. It's on everything. And that's kind of what eXp did. And so in the beginning, it's pretty cool. They show little pictures of how life used to be and what we're doing now, because this world is always transforming. So this video is 2 minutes. I'm going to share it with you guys. And let me just get it set up here so we can do that and share the sound. I got it. And let's do this.
A world once disconnected by distance. From impossible to possible. The elite, now the common. The lonely, now united. Now imagine a world created for connection. Welcome to our world. eXp World.
Welcome to eXp World.
eXp, created for connection.
So that's the video I saw. Like, within 2 minutes, I was just like, huh, that is pretty fascinating, and how we go from two extremes on, where we were with cell phones, and now we're video texting my kids. They're like, Dad, let's do FaceTime. Let's do FaceTime. Let's see each other. So our world has transformed, and we have two choices. We can either stay with what we're doing, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want to grow and you want to expand, and you outgrow your previous goals, then you're going to have to sometimes go with vehicles, and the vehicle is your firm that's going to get you where you want to go. So let me share with you a little bit about what transpired and how that the key ingredients for me that took place. So the five key things that agents look for, and the five things that I felt that in my transition was these things I'm about to share with you right now. The first one is always the most important because we always deal with money, because the money is always the most important. It's how we pay our bills. It's how we run our lives. It's what we need. So the first thing that we're going to talk about today is the commission splits. So the commission splits are the most important ingredient. Well, not the most important. So there's no order in these, but number one is commission splits. eXp's commission splits are an 80-20 split. Okay. There is no if I do this much production, if I have this team and whatever. No, it's 80-20 across the board. It's a very reasonable split. Some of the firms I hear are 60-40, 50-50. Some of them are 100%, but then they have fees attached to it. Every company that you hang your license with will have a fee. It all depends on what makes sense to you. So in this case here, my previous firm, it was a higher split. For here, I made more money because my split was an 80-20. So I was making an extra 13 to 14% gain. And I said, well, commission splits, check. This one seems very reasonable for me. And this one also makes more money than I was previously. So why not? So that checked one of the boxes. The next one is a cap. So if you're with a company that doesn't allow you to have a cap, you don't really have an incentive, and I feel, to work even harder than to attain something. So in our case here, my previous company did have a cap, but it was higher than this cap. So once again, financially, this made sense to me. So in this case here, the cap at eXp is $16,000. So diving in a little bit deeper, what that means is that 20% of every transaction, of every real estate closing I have, 20% of it goes to eXp until I get to $16,000. They tally them all up. Once I get to 16,000, then I become what they call a capper, meaning that I now earn 100% of my commission, and eXp does not take any more money out. Now, it is for 1 calendar year, but if you're a high producing agent, and by that is you're just doing, I shouldn't say just doing, but you're doing over $2 to $3 million in sales, you would be a capping agent. You would have that opportunity to earn 100% of commission. Okay. Our goal for my team and myself is we want to do this within 2 months. All right. So then the next 10 months, I don't have to pay eXp any commissions. Okay. Now there are some small fees for processing, like $25, but I'm not paying a commission. So that's very important to me. Now, the other thing, now everybody is, well, not really different, but if you're on a team, and what that means is when you're on a team, there your cap gets reduced to $8,000. Now, there's different things that are involved around a team, and if you have more questions about that, feel free. You can email me or call me on the information here below or the link, and you can ask me more questions. I have a team. My caps are the same with the eXp, but my percentages are different for teams and your production, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're on a team, it's $8,000. If you're a full individual agent, it's $16,000. Well, there's also another bonus thing that the other company that I was with didn't have. And that is I get to have my cap returned back to me if I become an iCON agent. So an iCON agent is that you do an additional 20 transactions after your capping. So what that means is once I hit that status, then my cap of that 16,000, 4,000 does go towards the the business and some of the expenses that they have. But $12,000 comes back to me in stock. And I'm going to share with you stock in number 4. But that was a pretty cool opportunity for me to be able to say, wait a minute, I'm going to pay you money. If I hit a certain dollar amount, you're going to pay me back. And so I was very attracted to that because I'm very competitive. So I was like, well, I want to do that. I want to win that. So I was very fortunate. Last year, I was an iCON agent. And so I was able to have $12,000 come back to me. And yes, it's vested in the company, but it's a pretty cool opportunity to have that much money come back to me and to be able to put it forward. And we're going to talk about my why, because now I have it in a separate account. Okay. So 3 things so far that I haven't had in my past, and what's helped me make my decision was commission, cap, and now having an opportunity to win my cap back as an iCON agent. So I was like, okay, continue. What else do you have? So the other thing was KV Core. And I was using KV Core when I was with Keller Williams. So I knew KV Core. It was actually called Conversion at the time. But KV Core and Conversion were the main leading platforms. Some of you might be heard of Boomtown. There's a lot of different CRMs. Follow Up Boss. There's a lot of different. What's the other one that I just heard? I was just at an event. I can't remember. But so there's these CRMs. So when I was at Keller Williams, being that I had a team, I was paying $1,500 a month to be able to carry this in. Well, Brock, I don't have a team. Okay, well, let me just tell you, as an individual with KV Core, it's $450. It's like $480 or something. Okay, $399 maybe. $400. So that's $4,800 that you have to spend each year to be able to carry this CRM. Here at eXp, it was free. It was part of our service, or part of our firm was being able to have KV Core. So now, as I told you, I was spending $1,500. Well, $1,500 times 12, okay, that's close to $17,000. Right? I'm saving $17,000. My cap went from 25,000, 24,000 to 16,000. That's an extra $8,000. Okay, so that's 20-some $1,000 that I was saving just in these 2 items. Then if I say I'm going to get my money back at $12,000 back, which I did, okay, that's over 30, close to $35,000 that I was saving. So like, and I remember when I first started teaching, that was a full year of pay that I was getting. So for me, it fit my personality. It fit what I needed. And so far, I was like 4 for 4. And this KV Core platform, it's an amazing platform. I mean, it keeps track of everything that you have in your system. It keeps track of all your leads. You can do mass emailing. You can do voice dialing with them. You can bombs attached to it. You can do what else can you do with that event? Like you have, and the other thing too, it's a behavior analysis module. So what does that mean? That basically means that it has a way to be able to go in and to be able to figure out if somebody's on their mobile phone, if somebody's on their desktop, how long they've looked at things. They want to know where they looked at things, what their next property could be like forecasted out to be. It has automatic text messages going out to them. It has automatic emails going out to them. It has drip campaigns lined up for them, so it's automatically pushed out. It has an MLS search, alert search that is put on there. All these things the CRM does that you're able to use and implement into your business. In all that stuff, there are some of those you got to pay a little extra for. Like I think it's like $50 a month, but for the most part, everything I just told you is free. It's part of your program with your firm license being with the eXp. So once again, that was a no-brainer for me to be able to have that opportunity to be like, hey, why not? It's saving you money. It's a better platform. And now it has automatic behavior analysis features that are phenomenal. All right. So let's go on to number 4. Number 4 is the stock market. Well, the stock market, I should say stocks. Okay. So this company allows you to be able to have stocks with them. And they also reward you if you bring on somebody. They reward you on your first closing. They reward the person you brought on's first closing. They reward you if you, I can't remember all the things that they do. It'll be in that video I share with you. But all these opportunities, you're getting money for talking about your company, talking about it, and having opportunities to put money back into your pocket. Excuse me. One of the things that I listen to is Jim Rohn, and he talks about how you can make money while you're sleeping. Here's an opportunity. I was making money doing things I was already doing. I'm already going to sell real estate. I'm already going to talk to people about my company, and now I was getting rewarded for it through these stocks. Now, the stock market also is a really good opportunity because it also becomes a retirement option. And I told you one of the main ingredients for me was my why, which were my children. And it was so important for me to be able to give something back to my kids. Like they're going to want to go to um, college, they're married, they're going to want their first house, all these different ingredients. And I didn't really have a retirement plan. My plan at the time was not a very good one. It was like, it looks like I'm going to have to work very late or long time in my 60s. And I still won't have retirement, or I'll just have to live off of my Social Security. And we know how that works out. So I was not too excited from my previous companies. I didn't even have that. So to be able to say like, hey, I have this opportunity. I got retirement for my kids. I can invest into the stock market. And I also was able to get a discount on every dollar I spent and put towards the company in the stock. They were giving me a discount in order for me to purchase some of this stuff. So I was like, well, this is a no-brainer. This seems like really good for me to be able to do that. And last year, if you want to take a look at the stock market, what eXp went, it grew by 400%. So never in my entire mind would I ever think that I would have an opportunity to actually trade stock. So I went and looked down my stock one day and I was blown away of how much money that I had in my stock. And I never have done, I was a school teacher. Okay. Majority of society, 85% live paycheck to paycheck. So that means we don't have enough money to say, hey, I'm going to go play around with the stock market to see what I can return. Most of us have, if we have a financial advisor, we just give them the money and they put it in conservative alignment or conservative accounts. So then that way you can at least make some money while you're sleeping better than just sitting in a normal checking or savings account. So that opportunity to be able to have the stocks and to be able to put it towards retirement and to be able to transfer it and give it to my children and to be able to leave with somebody else was amazing. And to be able to put what I was already doing with closings and just put it towards it. So to me, it was a very very great opportunity that once again I was like, all right, I'm still listening. I'm still listening. So the last one, number 5. Number 5 is a unique one because it was very familiar with my previous company, but they added a little anecdote to this one. There's a little sprinkle of extra salt on this one, and it went from a revenue or profit sharing to revenue sharing. And so the profit sharing versus the revenue sharing for me was like, well, I don't have anybody else's paws in my money that I'm giving towards the company. And now it's just based off of they cut out like the middle person of the expenses with the firm because there's really no expenses with the firm because it's a virtual company unless you have your own office like this. But this rev share allowed me to be able to share or to be able to express my feelings about this company and get rewarded for it. So I'm going to give you an example. So you and your significant other went out to dinner and you had a fabulous time and you really enjoyed it. And you went to this nice Italian dinner and you were like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing in the world. And it was actually good food, good price, and everything else. So you go and you start mowing your yard the next day. You went out, well, you even give it a couple of days. And your neighbor comes out and starts talking to you. Hey, what's going on? How are you? Oh, good, good. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, we just been busy. And My wife and I went out last night to this nice restaurant. Oh, wow. Where'd you guys go? I'm actually supposed to take my wife out to dinner tonight. Oh, really? Well, we went to this restaurant up the road here, and feel free to go to it. Well, guy takes him up on it, goes to the restaurant, and spends about $250 out to dinner, nice wine, food, and everything else like that. That gentleman who went to that restaurant with his wife, took the review from what the guy said, the word of the mouth, spent 250. The guy who told him where to go, guess how much money he made off of that? $0. Okay. Well, of course, Brock, you didn't make any money off it. Well, eXp took that concept and said, hey, if you're telling somebody about our company and they actually go to it and they spend money there, you should get paid. Because without that relationship and that conversation, that person's not going to that restaurant. They could have done something different. So the word of the mouth of the review helped procure that extra sale of business, which they want to thank that agent who did that. And so they get a revenue share check each month that hits your account on the 22nd. And it gives that agent an incentive to be like, what? I'm going to tell more people about this company because I like it. Just like he told his neighbor that he likes the Italian restaurant, and the guy went. It's the same exact concept, and that's what revenue share is with eXp. And sometimes you might refer to it as agent attraction. How are you attracting agent? So this right here gives you that opportunity to be able to earn extra money. So I was like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. At my previous company, I was doing all these items. And you're saying to me, I can make more money over here? Now, remember what I told you. The number one main thing was commission, and commission is associated with financing. And financing is the number one driving force that allows people to make decisions. It shouldn't be, but it is. The other thing is emotion. If you're making an emotional decision, you might hear like, oh, I need to go spend some money. I'm emotionally distraught. Okay. Or I need to have a drink. I've had a tough day today. I need to unwind. I need to relax. Okay. Emotional things take place at that point. So financially, what I just shared with you, every single one of those opportunities made more sense for me to move my company and my team. And at certain points in your life, you're not making decisions based off of yourself, especially if you have a family. You're making family type decisions. And if you do the same exact thing, but get paid more for it and work less, would you do that? I got to believe all of us out here would say, yes, I would want to have that opportunity. And that's all there is to it. There's nothing sugarcoating. There's no magical wand. I don't have anything coming out of my hat and saying like, oh my gosh, this is what it is. Guys, that's the main ingredients of what made me change and what I'm learning when I talk to people, what makes them decide to at least say, you might have something on that one. That does sound like you got it. Well, then they get me this question. Well, Brock, let me just tell you, I got to have folders and business cards and signs and everything else. Well, you're in luck. You get 25 folders or 20 folders with eXp. We actually have them right over here in our spot, right here. These babies, you get 20 of them or 25 of them for free. You get 1,000 business cards for free. KV Core gives you a website for free. I don't know what it is, but people think in order to do real estate business, you have to have a website, a business card, and folders. If you have those three things, I guess you do really good in business. I've been coaching and doing this for 15 years. I'm pretty sure I never give anybody my website and they say, you know what, I want to sign up with you. It's all about relationships and what comes out of my mouth. But that's a whole different story. The key ingredient is to tell you that if that's your objection, not a problem. We got that taken care of. Outside of that, well, Brock, it's branding. It's, well, you don't understand what I'm in with my firm because I have other listings. Okay. Most companies will actually allow you to take your listings with you. Now, if they're already under contract and pending, you have to keep them there. But for the most part, if you have anything brewing or if you have a listing that hasn't sold yet, you typically should be able to take them. Why is that? Is because most solid real estate companies don't want to leave a bad taste in your mouth, because if something does happen later down the road, they want you to be able to say, well, at least they didn't screw me over. I'm never going to go back there. At least they're saying, hey, if it doesn't work out, why don't you come back? So in that case, those are some of the key objections that I hear is, well, all those items, business cards, websites, and folders, and whatever else there is, like they have it all planned. And the cool thing is, it's all online. Like I showed you earlier in that video, you go into that world, and I'm getting information and stuff at it instantaneously. Now, I didn't talk a lot about training because most of the agents that have been grinding and doing this are like, well, I don't need any training. Okay. But if this is for the new people, if you're looking for a company with training and you're like me and you get up really early, or if you're like to go to bed really late, or whatever it is that you want, the training is 24/7. You can go online at any given point, go into the training, and you can have at it, listen, I'll do it. We also have mentorships programs. So that way, if you're new and you want to have some sort of guidance. People in our office here, they are mentors. They help out, making sure they understand the paperwork, know what the first transaction is going to look like, going through the sky slope and Zoom, and everything's like we have DigiSign, so that way all your contracts are nice and easy. Everything's electronic. So we also have like what we call like a Facebook, a work chat platform, so you can have conversations with anybody in the country. Like when we were starting the team in New York, I had to be able to, figure out the forms, figure out MLS, the IDXs, all these things I had to try to figure out on my own and do. And so it took me like 2 or 3 minutes to go and look up. And the business I was doing was in New York. So it allows us that opportunity to be able to have these type of conversations so quickly to be able to get the information we need. So in recap, because we're just about done here, in recap, what I have are the 5 main ingredients. The first one in review is commission splits. Okay. The second one is dealing with our cap and the iCON status opportunity that you have of becoming an iCON agent. Okay. The third one is the KV core platform and being able to get your CRM and to be able to get all the information as well as a lead generating system out there in the open, so that way you or your team have an opportunity to grow. The fourth one, stock market. Okay. Like I told you, I'm not a guru in the stock market, but I know enough that I'm able to make some good money. I'm making money while I sleep, and the opportunity is there. It also is attached to the retirement status side of things. So that way on the retirement, I can give something to my children and give them an opportunity to leave something for them and helping them grow where I wasn't able to do before. And last but not least is that Google review concept of dealing with revenue share, the agent attraction piece. All right. These ingredients all got me to being involved with the vehicle gets me where I want to go. That vehicle is eXp. The vehicle gets me to the goals and the dreams and the desires that I want to go to. And that opportunity is what's given me my last from the dead of the dead, the dreary of the dreary, the dark bottom of the barrel of where I was about 2 years ago and not having a license, trying to still recover from my disease, to being able to have a powerful mindset now, financially making money while I sleep, being able to go to different parts of this country and not have to pay additional fees, not have to pay additional caps, and to be able to use all these things. And 5 of them are the ones that I took out of. There's several others that we have opportunities for. If you want to learn more, okay, this struck you, you're like, I at least should give myself at least 10 minutes. This video is 9 minutes. If you want to know more about this video or want to have access to this video, all you got to do is click on below and go to my Facebook or go into whatever link you have, because Axon's can be sending it out to several different portals. Is you can instant message me, you can text me, You can call me, you can email me, and all these things Axon will put here in the video, so you can get all this information, as well as click the link below. But we will get you all this information. Okay, 9 minutes. That's what this video is. If it's something that gives you an opportunity to say, hey, why not at least see what it talks a little bit more in detail. If you want to have more of a private conversation, you want to have more of a consultation with the team leader or one of my partners who've been doing this, by all means, we could set something up. I am looking to grow in different areas. New York primarily is one of them, also in Florida. These are the two states that we're really focused on, but New York specifically. So if you're listening to this and you're in New York, we want to make sure that we have an opportunity out there for you to be able or I like to have an opportunity to meet with you, to share with you what it is to be on our team, share what it is to be on our organization. I'm actually coming up to New York in 2 weeks. I'll be up Thursday at 12:30 again. I'll be up at Jonathan's in Enwell. So love an opportunity for those listening in to meet with you, and love to have a conversation with you after that. Me and my two little ones are going to be up there. I got Bryce and Brielle. We're all coming up there, so I'm excited about that. Guys, I really, really appreciate everybody's time. It is actually 1:15. So we hit it right at that 45-minute mark. I like to be able to get in what we need to hear and then move on. We all have busy days out there. I can't thank you all enough for the opportunity to talk to you, present to you. Hopefully this gives you a push in the right direction, or at least an opportunity that some point down the road, kick the can, think about it, and see if it fits for you, your personality, and your family. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, evening, whatever time it is that you guys are looking at this. And more information below. Like I said, click on the links below. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Okay, bye.